those who suggest that we shall pull the plug on Ukraine, I will make sure to my dying day you own that decision. Don't talk about Ukraine in Washington. Go. If you're not willing to go and meet the Ukrainians, I don't understand that. You need to go over there. You need to sit down, go to Poland and talk to our military commanders, spend some time on the ground in Ukraine, listen to their side of the story.
Joining me right now is Kentucky Senator Rand Paul. He's the ranking member of the Senate Homeland Security Committee. Senator, you just heard what Lindsey Graham said. How much money total has gone to Ukraine so far? What has been the impact, and have you been to Ukraine?
Somebody needs to remind the senator that we don't have any money. We're about $1.5 trillion in debt for this year. Over the last 3 months, we've accumulated almost $1 trillion in 3 months. The total is $33 trillion. So we don't have like an extra rainy day fund or a surplus we can send them. We have to borrow the money from China to send it to Ukraine. So no matter what your sympathies are in the war, and I'm sympathetic to Ukraine fighting off the Russian aggressors, but at the same time, I think it's irresponsible to think about their country before I think about my country. We have a government funding that needs to happen before September 30th. For them to hold that hostage and to say, oh, we'll close down, we're going to close down government unless you pass Ukrainian funding, we don't have the money. So I don't think it's a good idea for our country to continue borrowing. We've given them over, I think it's about $113 billion. This is another $24 billion. But, if you read between the lines, they'll tell you it'll last them about 2 to 3 months, and they'll be back again. Every 2 to 3 months, they're over here. He'll be here again today, begging for more money. It's not even just going to armaments. You realize we're funding the pension of their government workers, and we complain about bloated government here. They've got bloated government and they've got corruption, and the American taxpayer, people who are struggling in our country, are asked to fund it. I think it's wrong, and I think most of the American people, frankly, are with me.
Well, there's also this incredible story about an American journalist, Gonzalo Lira. He's reportedly right now in prison in Ukraine on allegations of spreading Russian propaganda. I don't understand this, that Joe Biden could approve $113 billion of money to Ukraine, and yet he has not tried to get this American journalist out of prison there. How is that possible?
It's even worse than that, Maria. They've canceled the elections. What kind of democracy has no election? So next year, Zelensky said he's not going to have an election because it would be inconvenient during the war and would be expensive. Well, the thing is, if you don't have elections, why in the world would we be supporting a country that's not a democracy? They've banned the political parties. They've invaded churches. They've arrested priests. So, no, it isn't a democracy. It's a corrupt regime. And are the Russians any better? No, the Russians are worse. But at the same time, we don't always have to pick some side to be on. But the ultimate reason I'm against this is we don't have the money. And when we borrow more money, it leads to more inflation, leads to more likelihood of recession in our country. And so we just can't keep doing it.
So you're willing to let the government shut down then? I mean, what's the fate of this bill that Kevin McCarthy is trying to wrangle members together once it gets to the Senate?
I think it's sort of the opposite of that. I put them on notice that they shouldn't shut the government down by demanding money to another government. We should be talking about funding our government. I'm more than willing to sign on to short-term spending of the government to keep it from closing down. So because the appropriations process is so broken that it never gets done, we're coming up on September 30th, and they haven't completed one bill. The House has completed one. We haven't completed any yet because it's taking so long to do this. There's going to have to be an extension so the government doesn't shut down. So if somebody comes to me and says, will you keep it open for a week or for a month? I will, but not if they make me swallow Ukraine aid. See, that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to tie Ukraine aid to keeping the government open. And then they're going to say, oh, no, it's your fault. Well, no, I'm pointing the finger first. It's their fault if they want to keep the government open by keeping another government open. So our primary responsibility is to our government, not the Ukrainian government.
I got to get to COVID, but real quick on this, Senator, what is your answer to those people like a Lindsey Graham who says if we stop helping to fund Ukraine in the middle of this, Russia wins, and then it goes and he moves on to Poland, elsewhere, to continue this reunification of the Soviet Union?
I would say there's a great incentive for Europe to help Ukraine. Europe, Ukraine is right on the edge of Europe. Europe needs to do more, frankly. So we've been outspending them 2 to 3 to 1. There's no reason why we can't cooperate and help in that way. But the thing is Europe has more responsibility here, and Europe needs to step up. Frankly, we pay for everything for the Europeans. We pay for NATO. We pay for everything. It's time the Europeans step up and pay for themselves.
Very good point, Senator.